Good day. It's Jim Turner, CPA, the BizValGuy. And I want to talk to you today about a topic that is really pertinent. When buying or selling a business, is bigger better? That's a question that seems intuitive. You would think that on the surface, yeah, buying a bigger business must be better. But is that just perception and not reality? In order to understand this question better and to find the answer, I looked at 500,000 SBA 7A transactions. And based upon the results of my study, I noted larger deals had significantly lower default rates. The methodology, I calculated the default rates for businesses within three industries. Those three industries were CPA firms, restaurants, and also machine shops. Within each industry, I started the transactions based upon deal size. The sort ranges were deals less than 500,000, deals greater than 500,000, but less than a million, deals between a million and 2 million, and deals greater than 2 million. A clear pattern was identified within each industry. The deals less than 500,000 had a higher default rate than the larger deals. This was consistent as deal size increased, so that the largest deals had the lowest default rates. There was one exception within machine shops, which inexplicably had a higher default rate for business transactions between a million and 2 million than even the smallest size businesses. Otherwise, the larger businesses within each stratum were more likely to succeed. Taking a look at this slide, you can see that in the restaurant industry, the smallest businesses defaulted at a 7.35% clip versus a 2.68 default rate for the largest businesses. Thus, a transaction of a restaurant that was $2 million or more had a 97+% success rate during the 10-year period studied. Now, moving over to machine shops, the success rate was over 99% for the purchases of machine shops greater than 2 million. And this was higher than, pretty significantly higher than the 95.5% success rate for the smallest transactions. There was the anomaly, as I mentioned earlier, though, the transactions between 1 million and 2 million had the highest default rate, which is kind of inexplicable. I'm calling it an aberration within the deal set, but that particular stratum, 1 million to 2 million, did have a higher default rate. Offices of certified public accountants. This is the third industry that we looked at, and the chasm between small and large was even more evident within the accounting industry. The largest businesses had a 100% success rate, or 0% default, and the largest businesses only failed at 4.27%. The low default rate among all size transactions is a testament to, I would say, the resilience and the stickiness of the revenue stream. If you think about it, you have to have your tax return done every year. Business owners have to have payroll prepared either weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever system they're on. And then also you have to have bookkeeping done, and you've got to have annual business tax returns. And for those CPAs that do audits, the audits are typically on an annual basis. There's just so much reporting required by government agencies that CPA firms are a great business industry, and accounting firms, non-CPA firms as well, because of the stickiness of that revenue. Moving over to the insights for buyers and sellers, the analysis here provides us with empirical data that shows that larger transactions are more likely to succeed than smaller deals. There are numerous reasons that can help explain this outcome. Larger businesses have greater cash flow and can weather downturns in the industry and the overall economy better, even the local economy. They have greater cash flow. They also have key employees. The larger businesses, instead of relying exclusively maybe on the owner, a larger business may have one or two other key people who can run the business, or at least run the business for a on a part-time basis, like when the owner goes on vacation or when the owner is out of pocket for any reason. The larger businesses have a larger customer base, tend to. They don't always do, but which means they just have more customers. And they may have hundreds of customers where a smaller business may have dozens of customers. And then also, the bigger businesses tend to have a sustainable customer acquisition system. And you may say, well, what in the world is a customer acquisition system? That's just my parlance for marketing. They have a good marketing system. They have a system to capture new customers, and that system is working well, and it is able to be ran in a larger business by folks other than the owner. Maybe the owner's a part of it, but not doing 100% of the marketing. And then the implications, this study shows the importance for prospective sellers to grow their business to a point where key employees can run the business apart from them. This will likely lead to the increased cash flow that I mentioned earlier that larger businesses enjoy. It will increase the depth of management. If the business owners grow their business, they're going to hire more people, and they will need to delegate to some key employees and teach them how to run the business too, so that the owner is not the only one who can do everything at the business. You want to delegate that out to as many people as possible. And then finally, you increase the customer base as you grow. This is not always the case. There could be customer concentration issues, but the tendency is as you grow, you're going to attract more customers and grow that customer base. For prospective buyers, it's clear that a larger business is more likely to succeed during the transition of ownership. But if you don't have a lot of money, I would say just go after that high quality business, the one that you can afford, the biggest you can afford, that has a solid reputation, clean books, and that you are prepared to run. You have the skill set to run. And other than that, for business owners, if you're an owner and you're not ready to, or you're ready to sell and you want to get out, the owner can still delegate. You can delegate as much to the employees as possible before you do sell. And you could also offer to stay on for a transition period for the prospective buyer. So that will make your business more attractive, even if you are not a very large business. So I hope you've enjoyed this video today, this presentation. If you want a copy of the presentation, just give me a thumbs up, and in the comments, just give me your email address, or you can send me an email. Again, it's Jim Turner, CPA, the BizValGuy, and you can find our website at turnerbusiness.com. Until next time, have a great day.